We're talking about habits and change. This next article I want to marry. It's called the Habit Change Cheat Sheet. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Every Thursday, we come here. It's a habit. It's what we do. Aristotle said that. Keep it simple. And then the first thing to do is say, write down your plans. That's why I had you do a contract. And you could just tell, there are people who were writing that contract, and they flipped over the page and they wrote on the back. And there's some people who wrote, eat less, move more, and that's it. Okay, eating less is a plan, but how? Are you going to say, I'm going to eat less by having 1,700 calories or 1,500 calories? There has to be backup to this plan. Write it down. Identify your triggers and your replacement habits. I told you that I'm a big fan of replacement habits. I gave up mayonnaise, but you know what I embraced? Dijonnaise. Glug, glug, glug. Now you might say, well, Ellen, if you were really strong and you really had a strong faith, you wouldn't need Dijonnaise. And I say to you, shut up. Because I need something. I gotta have something. And that's what I have, my Dijonnaise. And you know what? I used to beat myself up for my fat-free creamer. No more. I deserve it. I'm not having ice cream, cookies, candy, cake. I'm not going to nickel and dime my creamer. Okay. Replacement. If you have too much diet soda, we're going to talk about diet soda next week. Instead of saying, well, you know, I'm drinking 10 diet sodas a day, maybe I'll break it down to 9. Isn't that a change? You're changing. Okay. We're also going to talk about one habit at a time, sweet Jesus. Because what you do on January 1 is, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to quit smoking. I'm going to walk 5 miles a day. I'm going to be a better person. I'm going to on and on and on. And January 2nd comes, you go, I'm exhausted from all this change. And you don't do anything ever. So you say, you know what? I'm going to try to work on my pizza. I'm going to try and take a really good look on the payoff for my pizza. I'm going to see how strong I am and how much God's going to help me. Just give it up for a week. And then say, I'm going to have pizza on August 17th. I'm making that up. August 17th. You make a date with your pizza. All right. Start small. And you know, I have a lot of idiosyncrasies and a lot of pet peeves. I always say that really weirdos make it the best and pray it off because we're all weirdos. I am a weirdo. I have idiosyncrasies. And one of them is I think people should be on time for things. I think if we start at 6:00 and I say we're going to get out at 7:00, we should. Those are habits we've ingrained. Everyone here knows that we start right at 6 and get out right at 7. It's our habit. And to me, that's a good habit. Now, what if you showed up here and I'm like, we're going to stay to 7:30 tonight. You're like, what? 7:30? I got to eat dinner. I got things to do. I got places to go. But you know, I don't say we're staying to 7. You're like, what? You're like, 7. That's what we agreed on. We need to make our habits the same way. I do a food log because Ellen makes me. And sometimes habits are because someone forces you to make that habit. There are people in this group, me included, I do a food log, that if I said tomorrow pray it off is over, they would continue to do a food log because it's their habit. It's what we've learned to do. Also, give yourself a 30-day challenge. Say, the next 30 days, anyone can do anything for 30 days. If you say for 30 days, I'm not going to snack at night, you can do that. You will not die. I can tell you that right now with confidence, that if you say after dinner, I will not snack for 30 days, you can do it. Because some people in the group are fabulous. Healthy breakfast, healthy lunch, they're exercising, healthy dinner. 6, 7, 8 o'clock at night, they're like popping the almonds, and they go, almonds taste so good, I think I'll put them on ice cream. And then the ice cream tastes so good, that's what gets you. So have a 30-day challenge, and you make a plan, and you know your motivations. And I want to tell you a little story. I had company last weekend, and I said to Bob and Vince, I'm not going to have any light beers at all. I'm not going to have any light beers. I'm not going to have any cheats on my plan. And let me tell you why I'm not going to have any light beers. Number one, the calories. I am so committed to session 12. No light beers. I had some on vacation. On Memorial Day, none. I don't want them for the calories. I didn't want them because I don't want to hold my grandchildren when I had light beers. That doesn't seem right to me. Number three, I want to rely on God more than I rely on light beers. What was number four? I don't remember, but there's 4 reasons. And at the end of the weekend, I was so proud. There's no reason. You do that 30-day challenge, there's no reason you can't say, I didn't have pizza for 30 days. I'm so proud of myself. Now, when the company left, I didn't say, Bob, break out the case of light beers. They're gone, I'm getting drunk. No, I continued that habit. It's the same with you. You give up snacks at night for 30 days and you go, holy crap, I survived that? I think I'll see if I can do it another 30 days. All right. Also, think of a positive habit you're going to do instead. Every time you want to have something that you really shouldn't, say a rosary. I can think of at least 20 intentions to say a rosary right now, and nothing having to do with myself. Say a rosary for someone else. Come to where I work and see how people can't walk. And then say, I'm going to take a walk because they can't. Try to find something positive we're going to do. Habit is habit, and not to be flung out of the window by any man, but coaxed downstairs a step at a time. Mark Twain. And a support system. Nothing is better than pray it off for a support system. It is such a good support system. You get help here. You can even get help from your husband. A couple people said, my spouse just doesn't support me in my weight loss efforts. And then you sit them down and you say, I want you to know that if I lose weight, I'm not going to leave you for the first movie star that asked me out. Is that what you're worried about? I want you to know that I want to lose weight for our future. This is especially difficult when you have a thin spouse. If you have a chunky spouse, you say to them, I love you and I want you to join Pray It Off. And then you drag them here. Or you say to them, I want your support, and you start making healthy meals and say to your chunky spouse, let's go for a walk, etc. Beware of the self-talk. You say, I can't do this. This is too difficult. And it's so funny because people paid attention last week about the whole self-esteem, self-image. And when they were at the scale tonight, so many people so badly. I'm like, oh, I like your hair. They're like, thank you. Or, oh, that's a pretty shirt. Thank you. They're like, oh, I gotta say thank you. And then a couple people, I knew they wanted to be a little negative about what was going to happen on the scale, and they were reeling themselves in. That's a habit. Self-image, self-confidence is a habit you will keep over time. And you have to keep saying to yourself, I can do this. I can do this. So often you think, I can't do this. I can't. Well, yeah, you can. You're here, aren't you? You can do this. Maybe you can't do it in 5 minutes. Maybe you can't do it in 4 weeks. Maybe you can do it in a month, a year. You can do whatever you want. Take a deep breath. Eat some frozen grapes. Take a walk. Drink water. Have a buddy. Just have mantras. Mantras. And I used to be really afraid of dying. I used to always think, I'm going to die. Who's going to take care of my kids? And all this stuff. And now when I have a bad thought about that, I think, I'm going to live forever in the company of Jesus Christ and everybody that I love. I have a bad thought, I'm going to live forever in the company of Jesus. I just chase them right away. And don't have a pain somewhere and Google it. It's very bad advice. Because it's always end-stage renal disease or something terrible. So stay away from Googling, especially if you're a little bit of a crazy person. Also, prepare for the saboteurs. We have someone leaving tomorrow. There's going to be cake. There's going to be snacks. Somebody already said to me tomorrow, are you going to have a piece of cake on blah blah's last day? Challenge, challenge, challenge. how wonderful that you're worried about me having cake. Give me a hug. She didn't know what to say after that. She was so worried. Car near shrine with windows open and it's going to rain. So someone was worried about it. Whoever's car's near the shrine, your windows are open if it's anyone here. Thank you, Jeannie. So, if someone's trying to sabotage you, always wonder what their motivation is. Why is someone so interested in getting you to eat that hot fudge sundae? So they feel better about themselves? When you're in a restaurant with a friend, you order first. I'd like a salad with balsamic vinaigrette. I'd like some salmon. Could I have some mustard or something? If your friend's over there going, I want the lobster with a half gallon of butter, I want the rolls, I want this, you're like, it's a little harder to say, I'll have the salad with balsamic vinaigrette. You need to be careful. I love the mantra. I always talk to myself. This is interesting too. If you do a habit, if you try to change a habit, you say, I'm not going to have pizza for a month, and it's 2 weeks into it, and you have pizza. Have you not had pizza for a month? Somebody I know quit smoking. And I said, oh, you're doing so great. I said, how long has it been? And they're like, well, I haven't had, I quit smoking a month ago. Now, a week ago, I had a pack, but it's been a month. I go, well, sounds to me like it's been a week. And she goes, oh, that doesn't count. She goes, that was a bump, but I quit smoking a month ago. She believed it. Now, if you say I'm not going to have pizza for a month and you have it within 2 weeks, then you got to start the clock from when you had it and try another month. I'm not doing any Ponzi scheme with you people about the having the pizza. So remember that. Also, not one puff ever. You say, I'm not having pizza, and then you start going, I'm just going to eat the top, and I'm not going to eat the crust. Oh, don't tell me. I know you've all done that. So you're like scraping the cheese and the sausage and the pepperoni, going, I didn't really have pizza, just had the top. It counts. Also, renew your commitment often. You are here for a reason. I don't let people in the group unless they have weight to lose. You have to be here to lose weight. That's your reason. And set up public accountability. I don't know how big that is, but believe me, you don't think I have public accountability? You don't think I go to 5 o'clock mass and the same person who wondered if I was a great grandmother isn't going, You're keeping your weight up, I see. Like she's got a stopwatch. 5.5 years, let's see if she does it for 6. So, I have public accountability, and that's what keeps me honest, to tell you the truth, because if I fail, if I balloon back up to 370, you're all going to be sitting out there going, what's going on with that one? She weighs 370 and she's telling me to eat less, move more, and pray. You need to be accountable. If you do fail, figure out what went wrong, plan for it, and try again. Is beating yourself up ever done any good? And we've all done it for months and weeks and years. You say, I am such a failure. How does that do any good? Does that make me thinner? I'm a failure. Maybe if I went, I'm a failure, and moved a little bit while I said it, it might make me thinner. But just saying it does not make me thinner. Your net worth to the world is usually determined by what remains after your bad habits are subtracted from your good ones. Don't let failure and guilt stop you. They're just obstacles. They can be overcome. You can learn from each failure. They become stepping stones in your success. Regroup, let go of the guilt, learn, plan, and get back on the horse. How many times have I said get back in the saddle? I can look at my Weight Watcher experiences now and know why they failed. They failed because I thought it was a finite period of time that I would diet and go back to my regular life and eat whatever I wanted again. You might think, aren't you smart enough to know that doesn't work, Ellen? Well, raise your hand, honey. We've all done it. We thought, I can diet, then I'm going to eat what I want. What? I'm fat again? How did that happen? We need to say it's a commitment for life. And I'm going to stop right there, Bob.